Well, welcome to our family orientation at ESF Camps at Episcopal Academy. We are so excited to have our campers back with us this summer. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us tonight. I'm Michael Rouse, the Executive Director and co-founder of ESF Camps. We've been at Episcopal Academy since 1996 when we were at the Episcopal Academy Waterloo campus. And then when they built the magnificent campus in Newtown Square, we were very fortunate enough and grateful to be the key camps there on campus. And so tonight, we are going to provide you with all the great information to get your family ready for camp this summer. How excited are you about this summer? I can tell you, for all of us on this webinar, we surely are. We are ready. We're confident and ready to deliver an incredible summer for your child, as well as your family. Tonight, we're going to provide you with all the important information to prepare you and your campers for an amazing summer, one that your campers truly deserve. You'll meet our site directors, hear more about our leadership team. You'll learn more about our camp safety plan and playbook that we have used with best practices to keep our campers and your families and our staff safe since the pandemic is still going on. You'll review some key camp protocols, including our RUVNA health symptom management technology, what we're doing with swimming, our drop-off and pickup procedures, lunch, our extended day program, and some other important camp materials, as well as we'll take you on a virtual tour of our amazing campus, of our world-class campus. Towards the end, you'll have an opportunity, chance to get some of your important questions answered. And so please take a moment and just throughout the course of the evening, you can email us in the chat feature, which we'll be happy to take and answer towards the end of this evening. As I mentioned, we are ready and prepared for camp to start this summer. Our school partner, Episcopal Academy, the CDC, and the American Camp Association, as well as the local health department and state department, are all aligned, and camp will be safely operating this summer. It's important to know, as you are aware, we didn't run camp last summer at Episcopal. However, we did run our sports camps at 3 different states in 7 different locations for over 1,000 campers last summer in the month of August for the Philadelphia Phillies, the Philadelphia 76ers, as well as our Arsenal soccer camps. And we were very fortunate to have 1,000 campers with us, as well as over 150 staff, and every single one of them were COVID-free from the beginning of camp to the end of camp. And so we're really, really pleased that we operated camps last summer towards the end of the summer to really get that confidence that we knew that we could deliver a very safe and wholesome summer for your campers and your family this summer, summer 2021. We were fortunate enough to work directly with the medical teams of the Philadelphia 76ers and the Philadelphia Phillies, who then were able to work with our medical team and codified a really safe program, which then many of our school partners used throughout the school year. Like Episcopal Academy, a lot of schools ran last year in the fall all the way through the school year and had a very, very safe procedure and protocols in place, which was a lot to do with what we developed. And we're pretty excited about what we have in store for all of our campers. We know it's going to be incredibly fun, but at the same time, we're going to make sure we're keeping everybody safe since the pandemic is still continuing. Though the numbers are coming down and the restrictions are lightening up, we are definitely ready and confident that it's going to be a great summer ahead of us. So with that said, our agenda looks like this. We're going to be covering a number of different things. Meet our site directors who are amazing, our leadership team. You'll learn a little more about how we're keeping our campers and your family safe, as well as our staff. We'll have some camp protocols that we'll ask you to follow over the course of the summertime to monitor your children's health, as well as we'll cover some important camp materials. You'll take a tour of our campus, as well as we'll do some Q&A at the very end. And please make sure you're using those questions that you may have in the Q&A feature We're going to answer as many questions as we can this evening, which will wrap up by 7:30. However, anybody who gives us a question, if you just let us know your name, we'll be following up with you in the next day so that you get a personal response from us on any question that you might have relating to camp. Just a little bit about tonight's presentation. So you can see us, but we cannot see you due to the platform we're using. So you're on mute, but please use the Q&A box, as I mentioned, to ask any questions that you might have. Please reserve your questions until the end of the presentation. We're going to do our best to address everything like we said. And if for any reason you have a specific question relating to your camper, feel free to call us tomorrow or email us tonight, and we'll be happy to get right back to you no later than tomorrow at the end of the day. This presentation is being recorded and will be available on the ESF website for your convenience for any of those who cannot join us this evening, or if you want to share it with your nanny or your driver or anybody else who you may feel like it's important for them to see this. With that said, let's get started. I know that you're as excited as I am to hear from our site directors. And so I'm really proud to introduce you to two amazing people, Paul Kazanjian, who's been with ESF for over 18 years, and Miss Kim. These are two incredibly talented, great leaders who make summer fun for all of us. Welcome, guys.
Thanks, guys. I'll go ahead. I'll go first. So my name's Kim Watson. I'm the assistant site director over at Episcopal, and I work for ESF full time. So, and I've been with ESF for 6 years, and I started as a lifeguard, and then I currently run our after school enrichment program at EA during the school year. And then on site, I love camp. I love Wacky Wednesdays. Michael can attest to that as well. He sees me. So get your campers ready for those Wacky Wednesdays.
Mr. Paul.
Yes. Hey, how you doing? Thank you. So good evening to you all. Thanks for taking the time to hang out with us. My name's Paul Kazanjian, and I'm the proud site director of ESF summer camps at the Episcopal site. And I've been at the Episcopal site for several years now, and I've been with ESF for 18 years in total. This will be going into my 19th summer, which is kind of crazy to think about. There's a lot of memories and fun kind of wrapped up in there. I remember very vividly way back in the early 2000s getting a little flyer in my college mailbox about working with kids at summer camp, and thought that would be a nice summer spent, you know. So I did. I was a lifeguard and swim instructor for several years, and what I thought was going to be just a summer job turned out to be almost a second career for me. And I've been loving every summer since. And within the 18 years of my tenure at ESF, I've held multiple different positions and kind of been had my fingerprints in all the different camps we offer. But bar none, that what brings me back each year is just seeing the children have so much fun. And along those lines, it actually set a course for my career path. Since I joined ESF while I was in college, I was able to, take a career in education. So when I'm not at camp, I'm a science teacher at Garnet Valley High School over here in Delaware County. Outside of camp and work, I'm an avid outdoorsman. I like to be outside as much as I can. With my wife of almost 10 years now, we have two beautiful daughters, Skylar and Chloe. And Skylar is an avid ESF camper. And just before the meeting started today, she was up here asking when camp was going to start. So she is certainly rip-roaring to go here. But obviously, we all are aware of what has happened over the last several months and over the past year. Broke my heart we couldn't have camp last year, and I've made my peace with it, and I'm now looking towards the future, and we're going to have a fantastic summer for 2021 here. The adults need it. I've been talking with my leadership team. We're itching to get back out into the camp scene, and I know that your children will certainly benefit from a nice summer of camp and fun. So I'm really excited to get started, and thank you very much for being here. You're looking at my leadership team right now. So you met Kim, who's my trusty assistant and my right-hand lady. And our big name of the game is to bring the loud and bring the fun. So if you're ever on campus, apologize for the high decibel level, but not really. And then I'm just super proud of our leadership team, and this slide's really very humbling for me as a leader, because if you look closely, you'll see all the years my staff has been working with us. And that adds up. I did the math here before we started. It adds up 91 years of ESF and education experience that are leading our teams and camps. And I couldn't be more proud than that. But to round out our staff, we have Colleen Bernabe, who will be Director of Senior Camp in CGI. Dean Lent will be our Sports Lab Director. Mike Yorsarwick, which will be our Aquatics Director. He will be assisted by Natalie Walton. And then Whitaker Powell will be Director of our tennis program. And we have Kimmy Lent, who will be our administrative specialist, who you will talk to on the phone and through email if need be. But definitely, if you look there, you see the leadership and you see the experience. You don't really get a better team than that. And I'm incredibly proud of them and super confident that we're going to deliver this summer and have an amazing summer 2021. Moving along here. Just a couple of reminders as we kind of get up and running. We have, lost my screen there for a second. There it is, got it back, nice. So you got your camp address. We are at the Episcopal Academy, and we operate between the dates of June 21st, which is my birthday. So what June 20, it's always funny because when camp starts normally earlier in the summer, so I don't really necessarily get to start camp with my birthday, but I just realized that a couple weeks ago, my birthday is the first day of camp. Look at that. That's nice. I couldn't ask for a better birthday present. We will be rolling until August 13th. We do not have camp on July 5th in observance of the July 4th holiday. All right. We have added some additional weeks of technology camps that will be held at our ESF headquarters in Bryn Mawr for the weeks of August 16th, 23rd, and August 30th. And that will be for the technology camps. And here's our hours to round up our daily operations, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., which is our technical or camp day. And then we will have extended hours between 7:30 a.m. and 6 p.m. daily. All right.
So I'll take this part. I want to talk to you a little bit about our advanced safety plan to keep our campers, your families, as well as our staff safe and healthy this summer. And so over the course of the past year, we've spent a tremendous amount of time with our medical team, as well as representatives from the CDC, the American Camp Association, NIH, and the AAP, as well as our medical team, which is made up of Dr. Jack Becker, Dr. Munya Kanhana, as well as some other great specialists led by our chief nurse, Ann Lasky. And so we have developed, as I mentioned, when we ran camps last summer in August for some of our professional teams, we really had an incredible plan that actually was rolled out by the NBA after last summer to their junior development programs across the country. We were very excited that they endorsed it after they saw what we did. And it really comes down to these 7 points. Our 7-point system is really what's going to continue to keep everybody safe. And so first, we're limiting the size of our camps this summer, the total amount of children on campus at Episcopal, as well as the total size of each group. We'll be limiting that size. And your first question would be, well, how much smaller will it be? Our campus will be, the footprint will remain the same as far as how much space we're using, which is the entire campus. But as far as the amount of bodies on the campus, we're going to be about 23% smaller, just so that we can spread out and that we can also have limited sizes. The second is we're going to have our camper and staff screened on a daily basis prior to coming to camp. And so we're going to talk to you about a system that you're probably used to using for your local child's school, which will be helping us mitigate any chances of COVID coming onto campus. In addition to that, we will have cleaning and disinfection and hand washing enhanced on campus, so that whenever we're using different supplies and things like that, we'll wipe them down afterwards. One really important reason why we have reduced the size of our enrollment was because we want to utilize what we call learning pods for each and every group throughout the course of our summer. So, for instance, if your child's in a pre-K group, the bunks, could be the navigators, for instance. They would actually have their indoor activities in the same learning area, so that each activity specialist would be coming to them, so that they wouldn't be mixing into different multiple use rooms with multiple groups. They'd be using the same room over the course of that day whenever they're doing an indoor activity. We would also have exclusive supplies for just that bunk, so that there wouldn't be sharing of supplies with other groups. So again, it mitigates that spread. We'd be also wiping down those areas on a daily basis. So we're very excited about that, which then reduces that chance of spreading any type of illness whatsoever. In addition to that, we have some incredible premier facilities at Episcopal Academy, which allows us to do indoor and outdoor activities by spreading out. So that we will be doing that. By spreading out, we're basically reducing any kind of contact reduction with being close to kids. We're going to be spreading out for every activity that allows us to really, again, mitigate the chances of any type of spread. Our symptom management plan, we have outlined when it comes to those children or staff who might not be feeling well, what we would do. And then we've added about 2 hours into our training, where all of our staff members get trained for about 15 hours before the first day of camp, where about 4 of those hours is really dedicated towards helping kids be the best version of themselves. We've worked with some top child psychologists, because there are some children that are coming to camp this summer who would be very anxious due to the year that they've just had. Not to mention some top doctors when it comes to really trying to help kids become the best version of themselves through some character development and some other really great tips and techniques that we will do to try to catch kids doing great things and let them know about it. So really excited about that. This advanced safety plan 7-point system is available on our website, which looks like this on the website, the cover. And this last time it was updated was on June 2nd, and we'll probably be updating it again as well. But you'll see that live sitting on our website, which we'll share with you at the end of this presentation, where you can find this. So the question is, if camp was to start tomorrow, what would our children be wearing? What would they be doing when it comes to masks versus no masks? So first of all, what we would be doing would be aligned and mirrored what Episcopal Academy has been doing, as well as a lot of your children's schools. And we are also staying relevant in today's latest guidelines that have just circulated. And so any type of activities that will be happening indoors, we would be, when we're in those learning pods, the exclusive areas, we would be taking our masks off. Whenever we're in a multi-use room, which could be an indoor cafeteria for the day where we haven't eaten outside because it's raining, or an area that basically we were going to utilize an activity that may have been used by another group, that's when we would actually wear the mask. But any type of sports that's indoors, we'd be taking our masks off. Whenever we're eating, drinking, we would have them off. Same thing with swimming indoors, off. Whenever we're walking to and from an activity indoors, we would just be wearing them. just because it's safe for us when we're indoors, as well as our extended day program, we'd be wearing them as well. But any type of exertion or any type of would require where kids are physically getting active outside or inside, that's when we take them off. Now, if you switch to our outdoor situations, for car line, when you come on campus and when you're leaving campus, we're going to ask our campers to be wearing them, since there will be a group of children coming, and sometimes there's a little bit of a mixture. We'd be asking everybody to be safe by keeping them on. For any types of assemblies and social gatherings that we would have, and we're limiting the types of social gatherings that we'll do, but if for any reason when we do, we would actually be wearing them. For sports, obviously outdoors, we'd be taking them off. Same thing with eating, drinking, and our extended day, we would be keeping them on until we're playing the sports, which we would take them off. Any type of outdoor water activities, they would have them off. Whenever it's an excessive heat day, they would take them off. And then walking to and from activities when there's a little bit of possible mixing, walking past people, we'd be putting them back on. We are asking anybody who is planning to come on campus to visit, because we have obviously an open door policy. This year, we just want to have you call us in advance so that we can pre-approve and schedule that in advance with Paul and Kim. Any approved visitors, we would ask, even if you're vaccinated, to please wear a face covering while on site, just so that we're practicing good protocols for our campers, especially our younger ones. All right. We have a great relationship with a company called Rovna Health, and this is something that most schools have been using a particular platform like this, which allows a lot of the pre-screening to happen for both our staff as well as our camp families. And so you're going to receive a daily alert on your cell phone to complete, which takes about 30 seconds for your children. So we would just ask you to please complete that and then send that right into us before you come on campus. Our staff will be doing the same thing, and this will help us know everybody's condition as far as healthy or anything that we should be watching for. Obviously, if there's a couple areas where your child's feeling under the weather, we would just ask you to please keep them at home during that time period. We ask our families to please partner with us to protect our camp community. First of all, if there's any outstanding medical clearance forms that you generally get to us around this time, we would ask you to please send that in to us as soon as you can. As far as leading up to camp, we would just ask you to monitor your children's health prior to the start. Right now, we're seeing a lot of allergies. Allergy season is happening, so a lot of sneezing and runny noses and things like that. So just important to know the difference between allergies versus flu-like symptoms or a cold. And it's really just important to make sure that your child's ready, healthy, and ready to go. When your child's at camp, feel free to please continue to monitor their health and update us daily by using the technology that we'll send you on a daily basis. And just communicate directly with our camp nurse regarding any health concerns or illnesses that you may be having in your family. That would be important for us to know should there be ever any concern. Due to the medical privacy laws, which are just like what you're experiencing with schools, we cannot release a child's name or any other child's name if he or she would have tested positive for COVID-19. However, we will be contacting the entire group or the entire camp should ever there be a positive test, so that you're aware for your family should there have been a child in your child's group that would have tested positive. So we're about to talk to you about our process on that. We just kindly ask you to respect the privacy of all families and avoid any kind of unnecessary conversations or social media or speculation regarding a camper's health status. And by following our procedures, you're going to help us keep camp safe. So we have a new team this year, and that is called the Contact Tracing Team. And this is it. I am proud to be a part of it with Steve Robertson, Susan Gambesha, Dr. Jack Becker, and our Chief of Nurses, Nurse Ann Lasky. And so here you'll see kind of our process of contact tracing. We feel it's extremely efficient as well as focused on keeping children safe, as well as our staff. And so this has been kind of best practices that we've used with and some of our school partners have used throughout the course of the school year to keep their campuses safe. And so we're very excited about that. The good news is that you don't have to worry about this part. This is what our job is to do that. In fact, our job is to do that for Kim and Paul and the entire team, so that we always allow our kids and our families and our staff to be focused on delivering camp safely, but also in a fun manner. And so we're going to be communicating with you should there ever be a child within your child's group. We'll be communicating with you if there's anything that you should be aware of about camp and health signs. So you'll be hearing from us. Hopefully you won't be hearing from us, but should that ever be the case, this is our team. As far as swimming, which is one of our top #1 activities at camp at Episcopal Academy, yes, swimming will take place this summer. And all of our lifeguards and instructors will just look a little bit different. They're going to be wearing these face masks that are not scary in any way. It's just since there'll be a lot of one-on-one instruction, since we have great progress that our swim instructors do with our campers. It's really important just to know that they will have these face coverings to really do the job to make sure that our campers are always safe. Our campers do not wear any face masks. They will not wear any clear guards, nothing whatsoever when it comes to that. Our pool entrances will have one way in, another way out, which will have floor markers that our campers and our staff members will be able to help children get in and out properly. We have the proper pool chemistry and ventilation at Episcopal Academy, which we monitor throughout the hour every day. And we're going to be following all the different guidelines when it comes to cleaning and disinfecting the areas on the deck, as well as the pool locker rooms. All equipment will be always clean between groups, and we'll have our lifeguards who wear face shields while guarding, and then the non-lifeguards who are not in the water will be wearing face masks. And campers will wear face coverings before they swim, before they get into the pool, and then after they swim, after they've gotten out of the pool, not during the swim time. And our ratios will be that 1-to-4 ratio, 1 instructor to every 4 campers. However, for families like myself who have children under 5, that ratio is usually 1-to-1, as many parents know, because some of our kids have not learned how to swim yet. So after one summer with ESF, they know how to swim, which is the greatest thing about what ESF does. So we will be water safety testing every one of our children, where you may have some great swimmers in your family, and some of the children that might be in your child's group may not be proficient at swimming. Not to worry. We will be assessing every child within the group that they're in based on their individual assessment, not the groups. So your child would never either fall behind or be going too far ahead based on everybody else's ability level. That's why that 1-to-1 instructor is really key. And that's why campers really progress at such a high level at ESF, which is really important to know. As far as our pickup and drop off procedures, nothing's changed. If you're an alumni family, you'll be coming in off of the main entrance off of Bishop White Drive. You'll be coming down towards the lower school, and you'll turn right down Aurora Lane, and you'll swing around, and you don't have to worry about getting out of the car. We will be there to greet you and meet you. And area A for our mini camp, which is one of the lanes, is where mini camp, day camp, and our extended day program is. Area B, which is our second lane, is for our sports lab, our campers, our senior campers, our tennis campers, and our CGI campers who are doing some of our STEM programs. It's very important for any of you who have older campers and younger campers mixed. There's only one place to go for pickup and drop off. And the greatest thing about our drop off procedures at Episcopal is that it's all in the same area. We just spread out. Excuse me. And we will meet and greet you every day in the at the car. We would ask you to make sure your child's face mask is on at that time. When they get out of the car, we'll be walking them in. You'll show us your revenue for the day at drop-off, and we'll take it from there. Nothing to worry about. If for any reason you have prescription to drop off, we will have our camp nurse outside in car line. There'll be an area for you to park and to talk to the nurse and to drop off your camper's medication. Parents who will have an opportunity to speak to our camp nurse, so not to worry. But if you are going to drop off medication, please give it to the nurse. We're not asking our counselors at all to accept medication, since instructions are usually always important to follow up with parents on, and it's best to do that with the nurse. We're going to talk about our camp protocols, which Lori's going to walk you through.
Yep. Hi, everyone. I'm sure many of you are ready to take a break from making lunch this summer. And just so you know, we do offer an optional lunch program. This is an additional cost of $50 per week. There is a reduced rate for the July 5th week. And if you haven't already, you can enroll by the week by logging into your online account in Active. And this is just a sample of the menu. I know it's kind of small, but don't worry, you can absolutely access this menu on our website under general information. As long as we know that you're interested in signing up for lunch by the Wednesday before, we'll absolutely get you into our lunch program. Please note, if your camper does have any food allergies, our lunch program does not have an option for this summer. If your camper is not part of the lunch program, just bring your camper's lunch in a, we strongly recommend packing it in an insulated cooler or lunch bag. Just so you know, due to health department rules, we are not able to refrigerate lunches. So some families might throw in a little ice pack or just have it in an insulated bag.
One question you might have is how many children bring their lunch versus how many purchase. And I'd probably say it's about 50% will actually choose our optional lunch program, which is really a great program. But if your child's a picky eater, you may want to have them bring their lunch. You're more than welcome to try the lunch program. We would recommend just doing it for 1 week, try it out, test it out to see how your camper likes it. And if so, then feel free to call us to extend.
All right. And then just to kind of go over again, our standard camp day is from 9 a.m. to 3. We do offer our extended day, which we also call Club OT. There is a limited number of spaces available at an additional cost. So by signing up for Club OT, this can extend your camp day as early as 7:30 in the morning and as late as 6 p.m. We do ask this year that you do enroll before the start of the week. We will not be offering drop-in services, but if you let us know the week prior, again, similar to the lunch program, if it's something that you just want to kind of give a try for a week, you can see if it works for your family. And then if it is something that works, then you can continue to add it on for the remaining weeks as well. And then on our website, you will find a link to our important camp materials. One of the biggest questions we always get is, what do we bring to camp? So just make sure your camper is comfortable in their t-shirt, shorts, socks, closed-toe shoes. Don't forget your face mask. We always recommend a hat and of course sunscreen. We definitely recommend packing extra in your camper's bag for reapplying throughout the day. Counselors are absolutely available to assist if necessary. And then we also recommend, before your camper comes, if possible, putting that first layer of sunscreen on before they come to camp. Also, this summer, If your camper has swimming in the beginning of the day, one of the first periods in the morning, we will ask your camper to come to camp swim ready. And what that means is coming to camp with their swimsuit on underneath their clothing. Our site directors will be reaching out to you if your camper falls in that category. That way you have that heads up and you can get your camper ready for the day every day. In addition to sunscreen and lunch, we recommend bringing a water bottle, change of clothes, pool shoes, towel, and a backpack or a tote to carry it all around in throughout the day. And if you are enrolled in our Under Armour Sports Lab program, you might want to also bring a baseball glove, soccer socks, shin guards. If your camper is in tennis camp, they are welcome to bring their own tennis racket. And then we do ask that your camper leaves at home their cell phone or tablet, any electronic gaming devices, chewing gum, and cameras.
So just as a reminder about some of the things we just covered. So for the first day of camp, as we shared a little bit ago, your camper should bring a backpack, bag, lunch, and drink, unless you're participating in our optional lunch program, face mask, sunscreen, and a towel. If your camper is swimming, first period of the morning, you're going to get an email from Paul or Kim or the camp office that's basically saying your child will be swimming first. So if you wouldn't mind having them swim ready, which is basically having them wear their swimsuit to camp first thing for the morning, since they're the first group to swim. Prior to camp, we would ask you to, before arriving, to please complete the REVNA health screening for each of your campers. And trust me when I say it takes less than 30 seconds to do. I've got 4 kids, and I think I timed it where it's less than a minute. So for all 4. Please print and place your pickup card, which looks like this on the left-hand side. We're going to actually send you that vehicle identification that we'll need for your family when it comes to your name, your children's name, which group they're in, and you'll see the map on the back of this, which we're going to email this to you next week. And so we would just ask you to please print it out, put it on your dashboard when you come into camp on a daily basis. You may want to save our camp office number in your cell phone as well, which is 610-688-3298. And feel free to log into your account on active should you ever need to just check on any type of daily details and required forms. But also our website that has a lot of all the information that you may need for camp, which we're happy to share with you also this evening. When it comes to some sample calendars, we have some great highlights scheduled for the summer, for day camp, for sports lab, for tennis camp, and for major camps. And I wanted to just share with you all of these calendars that we're sharing with you right now are all available on our website. So again, we'll show you where you can get those. But every week we have scheduled basically 8 weeks of awesome for your campers. If they're in mini camp or day camp, we've got a theme, we've got an event, we've got something happening every day of the summer. So it's pretty exciting with theme days and special events. So all of those traditional ones that are happening, as well as some new ones that your campers are absolutely going to love. So that's our day camp and mini camp calendar. As far as our senior camp, if your child's in senior camp, one of the great recommendations that we received from our senior campers in 2019 was, we love True Life Adventures. We want more True Life Adventures. And for some of our campers who after 5 days really went a mile deep into a True Life adventure that they loved, some of them requested more time to still develop what they started. And so we came to the conclusion, after having several meetings with our senior campers at the end of summer 2019, of creating options for our senior campers to be able to choose as a TLA weekly elective so that they could do that the entire week. So you'll see at the bottom here, the weekly TLA electives, which will be choices for campers to choose to do in the senior camp program. In addition to that, this calendar talks about all the different theme days and special events that'll be happening over the course of the summertime for your children as well. For Sports Lab, which is our multi-sports camp, sponsored by Under Armour, we're super excited. Nothing is changing with our Sports Lab. Our campers are going to be covering between 8 and 10 sports every week. The only difference that we are not offering in Sports Lab this summer is our World League Championships, where we actually get in a bus and we travel to Haverford, or we travel to Gilman, or we travel to Lawrenceville, that area, to compete. There will still be the World League Championships competition. However, we'll be doing that internally at Episcopal, where we will have results and competitions happening with our entire campers, competing for numbers and certain achievements when they go head to head with another location who will be doing the same thing at their location. And then we'll be tallying up the points, and we'll be able to have a World League champion over the course of the summertime. And those championship games will be about 3 different ones over the course of the summertime. So we're really excited about that. And then you have our classic tennis camp, which has all the major Grand Slam events that Coach Witt, who is a master coach, will put our campers through, in addition to all the fun weeks that we have when it comes to the Master Cup week, besides the Grand Slams, the Davis Cup week, the Brazilian Open, and the World Team Tennis. So we are super excited about that as well. Before we actually get into the next slide, I just wanted to share with you that we also will be introducing what we call parkour to our campers at Episcopal, depending upon certain campers' ages. And this is kind of the latest, greatest type of activity that's been happening and blossoming throughout the country. And we have certified parkour instructors that will be doing these types of really fun activities with our campers outside, outdoors. And Kim Watson was one of our certified people that went through the training, as well as a couple other Episcopal Academy team members. And we're really looking forward to our campers having a blast with that this coming summer. The next thing I wanted to share with you is some really important work that we've been doing with one of our subject matter experts. His name is Dr. Jim Lair. Some of you tuned in for our Parenting Through the Pandemic pod series that we did with Dr. Lair and Dr. Khanna, where we were talking about children and developing through this pandemic. And Dr. Lair is this renowned sports psychologist who has coached 17 #1 athletes in 7 different sports. The latest #1 athletes were Novak Djokovic, not to mention Andre Agassi in his heyday, and several other athletes from different sports. And Dr. Lair has worked closely with us in helping us really bring out the best in campers. And his entire research over the course of his 30-year career is all based around character development. And I know lots of schools focus on that. Our approach is a little bit different. Our approach is really having lots of traditions and a lot of really important things that campers didn't even know. It's about character. Where they're not learning it, they're actually doing it. And like, for instance, our gratitude rock, which is one of the rocks that we have, where at the end of the day, campers catch other campers doing something great and they let them know about it. And to see a 4-year-old talk about who the gratitude rock should go to today, because they remembered seeing Lucy before lunch holding the door for everybody. To see a young child pick that up is pretty incredible when it comes to catching other kids doing great things and letting them know about. So there's lots of our traditions that we've threaded throughout the camp experience at Episcopal that really bring out the best in our campers. And with our conversations that we've had with Dr. Lair and Dr. Khanna, we really do believe that this generation of youth are poised to be the greatest generation ever on this planet, because they have been thrown lots of curveballs in the past year. They have pivoted and learned how to learn through technology, and they're very resilient young people. And so now it's our job to bring out the best in them and continue to strengthen those character muscles. And what better place than at ESF? Lori's going to tell you about Photo Day.
So save the date. We have our ESF Camp Photo Day taking place Tuesday, July 20th. This is your opportunity to be able to purchase a keepsake for 2021 camp season. We will ask that your camper wear their camp t-shirt, and we will of course send out reminders for that. And we will send out information so that you can place an order in advance, and then we will ship that photo directly to your home. For privacy reasons, we will not be posting those group photos online or on social media, but we, like I said, we'll be sending out further reminders as the day gets closer. And then speaking of wearing your camp t-shirt, here is a sneak peek at our camp shirts for this summer of 2021. You will see our camp mode shirt for our mini day, senior and tennis camps, and then the Under Armour Sports Lab shirt on the right with the Fearless logo. So just so you know, campers are not required to wear those shirts every day throughout the summer. We definitely want them wearing those shirts on Photo Day on July 20th.
And just a tip, don't worry if your child's not signed up for July 20th, because we're going to be taking pictures every single day, and we will be posting that in a secured area for you to just see your child in action throughout the course of every day. So you'll be able to learn more about your campers' friends, new best friends, and at the same time, we'll be sending you a summary every week as well about what's happening at camp. So why don't we go on a virtual tour if Paul and Kim want to walk us through it?
Excellent. Thank you, Michael. So as we mentioned earlier, to start off this webinar, we are very fortunate to be able to use the Episcopal Academy's pristine campus for our programs this summer. We've been there since 1996, with the new campus being built in later in the 2000s. Campus features state-of-the-art facilities that provide really a perfect setting for our camps, which translates for perfect camps for our campers. Extensive indoor and outdoor facilities allow us to offer really a unique blend of activities that run the gamut, with sports, special events through the summer, and with all the buildings, as you can see in the aerial shot here, we have room for both when it's raining out with inclement weather, or hopefully most of the time this summer, it's going to be nice and sunny and shiny. But we're very excited to have the campus for our programs here. What we see here is basically the exterior buildings here. If you've been on campus, that you've seen these before. If you've not been on campus yet, it does have a nickname. It's a little bit big. It's 202U. So it's a large campus, but most of our camps are going to be in the lower school building, where the camp office will be located in addition to our nurse's office. The camp office is our command center. That's basically where we do all of our operations. And we do have full-time nurse on staff that help us with our daily operations. All right. Kim, want to take the athletic center?
Yeah. So the athletic center will use, if it's raining, which hopefully not, like Paul said, but if it is raining, we are able to use like squash courts in there. There's a huge gymnasium. There's multiple of them. So that way we're able to get some of the tennis campers in there, as well as our sports lab campers. And then one of the main things in the athletic center is this gorgeous pool at Episcopal Academy. And you'll see on the back right-hand side, that's a bulkhead that's used to split the pool in half. So we actually use the side to the right-hand side of that, where it's a little bit shallower, and that's where we're doing lessons. Now, if you have a senior camper or a sports camper that's coming for recreational swim and they want to go in the deep end because they've been swimming, we do go through just a protocol in terms of testing them to make sure it's safe for them to be in the deep end prior to that.
And we also have obviously the amazing sports facilities, both indoor and outdoor, that we can use for our programs, which you see here are the tennis courts, which Coach Powell will be leading his tennis camps on throughout the summer, with the athletic field where sports lab will be outside most of the day, of course, weather permitting, and that includes excessive heat days too, if it's not raining out. And then our CGI senior and day camp also go outside. We do have multiple fields on campus, including a smaller field outside of the lower school, where a lot of our day campers will be able to do outside activities as well.
And then for
our go for it.
Oh, sorry. Well, for this part, so these are main circles that are spread out more than 6 feet apart that are just on campus. So if we are outside and it is OT and we're doing activities, we can use these circles just as an example of that's on their campus green currently. And then in terms of our cafeteria, which is always a hot topic, right? So it looks exactly like this, and pretty much it's going to stay that way. So it's going to keep the plexiglass. There's going to be 4 campers at one time. If your camper has an allergy, just let us know that ahead of time. We have a table for them as well, but there will still be plexiglass on there. So this is gorgeous. They just redone it in 2020. So it is a lot bigger and they have a lot more space than they previously did, which ends up helping us out tremendously. So we're super excited to be back in the cafeteria this year.
So we absolutely encourage you to join our ESF Episcopal Academy community Facebook page. On our Facebook page, you can access our photos of your campers having a great time. You can view announcements regarding upcoming events and highlights, just upcoming information that you need to know about, theme day reminders. It's also a great opportunity for you to be able to connect with other ESF parents. Don't worry if you don't use Facebook, just keep an eye out. As Michael said, we do send out end of the week emails and we will have weekly photo albums and camp highlights.
So while we're just wrapping up, we want you just to take a moment and just shoot us a question or two if you have any. I just want to summarize some of the things we just talked about in case you join us a few minutes into it. First of all, we've got this covered this summer. We want to give you great confidence in us, and we've got you. We're going to make sure that your children have the time of their life. We would ask you to just complete the readiness screening on a daily basis before you enter the campus. Again, it takes you less than 30 seconds. The pickup cards will be emailed next week. Please print them out and place them on your vehicle. If you have a driver or a nanny who will be doing that, please give them that copy, because that is really the identification we're going to need for your child to actually be picked up in order for us to know who's who. All visitors must be pre-approved and scheduled in advance should you ever want to come into the camp office. Please review what to wear and what to bring for your child as we review that today, and we'll give you kind of that cheat sheet, which we'll be sending you as well after this evening's presentation. If you have any medication that you need to drop off, we will have every Monday our camp nurses outside in a designated area for you to have that discussion with them outdoors, and they'll be able to collect the you can hand off the medication to them, or they'll actually hand it back to you if it's your child's last day. The extended day program, we would just ask you to pre-register this year. There's no drop-in service based on COVID restrictions. So please let us know the Wednesday before every week, before 6 p.m., if you plan to use extended day the following week. And with that said, we're super excited for the summer. Everything that we've just covered tonight is on our website at esfcamps.com/Episcopal. If you look at the area that I highlighted in the important camp materials, that is where you would click that, And when you click that, you're going to see general information, which is everything from the different levels of our aquatics handbook that is outlined that your children will be water safety tested. And as they progress, you'll see the different levels that they'll get to. Our camp safety plan and playbook is also featured there, which we talked about our 7-point system. You'll see the latest and greatest version of that. You'll see our campus map, where to drop off and pick up. You'll see the lunch menu that Lori walked you through. You'll see some bios on our leadership team. You'll also see our advanced safety plan. You'll see our camp group photos will be listed there. And again, this will be a great place for you to be able to get those photos. If you ever want to join the Facebook group, that's where you can stay connected with us. And then you'll also be able to stay in touch with us with any questions you might have by either calling us directly or by emailing us. In addition to that, we have our camp calendars, which are also important to know that we have there as well, which you'll be able to print out and or look on the screen anytime this summer. And with that said, why don't we go to our questions?
Sure, absolutely.
One last thing. So
yep.
Since we have reduced the size of our camp enrollment, we are encouraging any families who may be thinking about additional weeks this summer before we sell out to, we want our alumni families or any families that are with us this summer to let us know if there's any future weeks you might need this summer. There's a document that you'll be able to print out, or you can give us a call tomorrow and we can add on additional weeks should you need that. What we don't want is anybody to be blocked out of additional weeks should you need it in any of our programs. And for our camp office numbers and any of our contact information, you're more than welcome to contact us anytime. And our phone number again is 610-688-3298. And myself and Lori as well are in our Bryn Mawr office and can be reached anytime during the day.
Okay, we do have some questions. We're going to do our best to get to everyone. So if we don't get to your question live now, then we'll definitely follow up with you. We do have a question asking, are camp employees required to be vaccinated?
Yes, so we have just finished our first, actually, we've had 3 trainings so far, and we've been able to keep track of our team members who've been vaccinated. And over 90% of our team members have been vaccinated to date. That statistics is pretty strong based on the fact that the majority of our staff are either teachers or they're college students studying to become a teacher. And so due to the professional and level of our staff, as well as the age, we're finding that most of all of our staff are all vaccinated. We will be requiring, though, our staff to mirror the good examples that we want for our campers to actually wear the face masks when we're in those various areas, as I mentioned, so that even though the majority of our staff are all vaxxed, we would want them to mirror proper protocols so that campers feel like it's okay to wear the mask. As for a number of children who we're starting to find out that are age 12 and over that are vaxxed, we're also going to ask our campers in those social gathering times to also practice the right protocols by also wearing the mask in those times. As you can see with the chart that we followed you through today, about 15 to 25% of the time our campers would be wearing a mask when they're coming to camp, when they're walking, or when they're in transition. 20% is a pretty big number. I'd probably put that number more closer to under 10%. Because they're going to be in individual learning pods, having the time of their life without a mask on.
Another question we have, it's specific for mini camp, but I think it can apply to all our programming. Will counselors stay the same throughout the summer?
That's our goal,
Yep.
is for us to have consistency with our staff. The good news is that we have a fantastic staff. We're always trying to develop our staff. We're always trying to continually help them grow. And sometimes, whether it be a chance to do an on-the-job experience, which both Kim and Mr. Paul, as they were growing through the ranks at ESF, they sometimes are tapped on the shoulder to try an opportunity within the camp. And so we're only doing that at times with a top performer towards the middle or the end of the summer, but there's great consistency that we have for our staff throughout the course of the summertime. We try to make sure it's still the same swim instructor. It's still obviously all the same specialists remain with us. So it's that consistent face for every activity, and also those group counselors or that main coach. If for any reason there was ever a switch, it would have been because of the on-the-job training opportunity, or sometimes somebody doesn't meet our criteria and we have to exit them sooner than later, just because we're always trying to have the best staff with your children.
Thank you. This is a question, but maybe Kim would be the best to answer it. Just kind of asking specifically about the pool depth for campers, especially for our mini campers, and what the supervision will look like during that time.
Yeah. So in mini camp, you're going to have usually 3 counselors in that group. There'll be a lead teacher and then 2 counselors as well that'll be walking them up to the pool. And then once they get to the pool and they walk out onto the pool deck, they'll have their towel, their goggles. If they have a different pair of shoes on, they'll put that all in one spot on the pool deck. And then there is a main set of stairs that you can go down in the shallow end. So we're not just asking the campers to hop in and hold on to the wall. So there is a set of stairs that they can gradually walk into to get them started. And we do have the counselors, 2 of those counselors will get in the pool with them. If they only have 2 counselors, if they're a little bit older, one of the counselors gets in the pool just because they've been with that counselor all day, and sometimes it's a little bit more encouraging when the counselor's in the pool with them. So in regards to that, that's kind of the protocol. The aquatics director will go ahead and say, can I get the Colts, the name of the bunk, can I get this bunk? And there's going to be 2 or 3 campers, and you're going to walk, one of the aquatics directors is going to walk them over to their lifeguard, their instructor that's teaching them for the day. So they're not just coming out on the pool deck and going directly there. They have a seat, and then the aquatics director puts them with their right instructor. And then as far as the depth goes in the shallow end, I want to say, and Paul, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I want to say it starts at like 4 feet. And then gradually the depth gets higher and increases as it goes into the deep end. But that,
as a parent of a 3-year-old who experienced swimming in 2019, proud to say that 3-year-olds are able to stand in that shallow end that Kim was first referring to, which is less than that 3 feet mark. And then for that age group, for children 3 and 4 who've never swam before, it's an incredible introduction to swimming. And then by the time camp is over, they're pretty competent and able to be on their own swimming in a safe way in with adult supervision, where they're at a level 2 or a level 3 when it comes to their ability to actually make it from one side to out to an instructor. So we're pretty excited about that, to give them those techniques and tips and ability to swim, but not to swim obviously on their own with no one watching. So it's really a blessing to watch these kids come through the process and achieve the levels that they do.
and if you're super nervous about it, you have a 3-year-old, they haven't come to camp, they haven't maybe been to school yet this year, you can feel free to let us know at Carline when you drop off, and we will give you a call as soon as they're done swimming and just let you know. So Paul or I will give you a call, the day camp director will give you a call, and we'll give you an update within the hour after they're done swimming. So if you are nervous, we are here for you, and we will get back to you as soon as possible, because I know sometimes it can be hard, especially the first time you're dropping off a 3 or 4-year-old to camp and you're not able to walk them up for this year. So feel free to reach out. We are super responsive over with ESF, so feel free and we'll help you out.
It's about 7:33, so we want to be mindful of our time tonight. If for any reason you have any questions after tonight's presentation, or if we didn't get to your specific question, we promise you we will be following up with you tomorrow. We have been watching the Q&A. It looks like there's only been maybe 5 or 6 questions that we might not have answered tonight. So we will be following up with you right away. We'd also welcome you at any time to reach out to us should you have any questions whatsoever. Again, 610-688-3298 is our phone number. And we're really excited and looking forward to a fantastic summer ahead with you and your children. So thank you again for your patience and your loyalty over the course of the past year. It's been an incredible journey, but we couldn't be more excited to be back. And thank you again, and looking forward to seeing you this summer.